Get the comfy chair!
Welcome to this episode of The Good, the Bad and the Odd with your hosts Mark and Sam. Hi Sam.
Hello there.
Right, it's comfy chair time, so we get a bit of freewheeling. I think we both got 5 each, so we'll see how it goes. Do you mind if I start?
Yeah, go ahead.
You're not going to like this one, just from the title, but I'll try and convince you otherwise. Accident Man 2, also called Accident Man Hitman's Holiday. Yeah, okay, so you wasn't a big fan of Accident Man. You thought it was alright. I liked it better. Yeah, no, but Accident Man 2 is a lot of fun. Essentially, he's left London, our Scott, what's his name? Mike Fallon. Scott Atkins is the actor. Mike Fallon has left London and he lives in Malta, but he kind of realises Malta's like the gateway for being an assassin all over Europe, Africa, and the Middle East, because it's like in the middle, right? Okay. So he's kind of, because I don't want a plane, 2 hours, sort out someone in Dubai and be back for match of the day. It's all that kind of stuff, right? And they really embrace the sort of Malta aesthetic, in that it's bright, it's sunny, it's well lit. You know, the other one was kind of dingy London and sort of dark, seedy London. This was brightly lit Malta. So we see some various fun hits. One of the funniest things is the early scene. He goes, I love it in Malta, but I was really disappointed when I first arrived. And you see him in a sweet shop saying, you don't sell Maltesers! It's in the name! Yeah, it's that kind of thing. Essentially, he's all on he's kind of living a bit of a, he's doing his work, but he's not happy. He still feels bad about what happened in London, even though it was, it couldn't be avoided, really. It wasn't really his fault. We find out when a fight kicks off in his house and the place gets smashed up, he's come across this woman who worked in a bar who's one of the best martial artists he's ever seen, right? So he hires her to basically do a Kato, right? So she's like Kato. And so she just jumps out once a week. She jumps out and starts kicking the hell out of him. Yeah, to keep him on his toes. And he's got a safe word, flamingo. If he says flamingo, she stops. But the first time we see her, it looks like she's trying to kill him, and she's like smashing up the place, and he's saying, "No, not the telly, it's an 8K OLED." She kicks him in it and things like that. And then when he tells her off, he goes, "You didn't say flamingo." It's all that. But while he's getting drunk in Malta, wandering around, he actually meets an old friend from his old days, who's Finicky Fred, the one who was like the poisoner. Do you know the one who was coming up with weird ways of killing people? Him. He meets him because he was the one who got left alive, right? And was it
Ray Stevenson?
Ray Stevenson, who is Ray as well in the right. He's been chucked out of a bar and. He goes, "You'll be sorry," and he uses some sort of weird flamethrower watch and sets this bloke's head alight. So Mike takes it, helps him back because he's been beaten up, and they just start like living. He starts living with him, so there's like mates, right? And they start doing hits together, and it's funny because the hits they do are really stupid because they're always about accidents, right? The things they come up with is bizarre. Like at one point, I don't know how this is supposed to have worked, but we see a bloke stumbling along with his woman and the woman getting on her knees in front of him. But then you see the woman is actually Finicky Fred dressed up as a woman. And then this ladder cut, how drop ladders from, fire escapes, comes down and smashes through the top of the bloke's head and kills him. And Finicky Fred goes, "Oh, you left it a bit there, close there, Mike. I thought I was going to have to nosh him." He said, "It's a shame, though. He was a good kisser." It's so weird. And essentially, what happens is this mafia family that live in there, we've got the most annoying son ever, this woman who runs the mafia. There's a hit on him that looks like it was an accident, made to be an accident. So they pull in Mike, knowing his form, right? And he's like, no, it wasn't me. And, we actually saw the job on, Assassin's Network or whatever it was, and we turned it down because we know you guys. So the mother then charges him with finding who it is, otherwise he's going to die. And she kind of holds Fred hostage, which essentially means Mike has to look after the most annoying person you've ever met in your life, who at one point they realise he's got a GPS in his watch, and they say, give me the watch. He's saying, no, I'm not going to give it. He's such a child, this bloke. And he swallows the watch. So
yeah, I'd be very annoyed at this.
Yeah,
film.
Mike's well not. Oh, no. It's brilliant. It was really good. It was better than the first one. Way more. Essentially, this crew of international assassins descend on Malta just to kill this guy who's got a contract on him for 9 million euros, right? So essentially, Mike is fending off this South African female mercenary called the Angel of Death, who's rock hard. There's an African one who they call the Vampire, who likes drinking the blood of his victims. And he rolls with machetes and things, and so on. And there's this entire roster of weird characters, including. And I know this is going to sound bad, but honestly, it is really funny. A character called Poco the Clown, who's an assassin who dresses up as a clown, but has something wrong with him where he doesn't feel any pain. So he could get all sorts of damage and be fine with it, And so at one point when Mike's fighting with him, he keeps saying, "Did that hurt? That must have hurt," when he keeps doing things to him. And this clown guy's going, "Hey." Now you got to remember, this is a comic book. This is based on a comic book. These are characters from the comic book, and so on. And also he encounters Big Ray as well, who is also about the contract. And he says, "How'd you track me down, Big Ray?" He goes, "Well. It wasn't hard," and he shows him a note that Finicky Fred sent him saying, "Wish you were here. I'm here with Mike. Can't tell you where we are." But he puts it on a napkin for a hotel that's right by their house. So, it's not exactly rocket science to figure it out. Anyway, this goes on, and he's got to look after this, and the most annoying bloke ever, while all these major assassins, and there's a ninja, and all this, and it's such a gleeful, happy feel. It's the lines are great, but it was definitely better than the first one. But I like the first one better than you, so fair enough. But honestly, I really enjoyed it. I found it a really fun sort of 80s action movie made in the modern day, and I hope they make another one. I really enjoyed it.
See, I just don't think Scott Adkins has the same sort of charisma as the 80s action stars have had.
Oh, I do. I think it's got as much charisma as Jean-Claude Van Damme and Steven Seagal, for example. Maybe not the top tier, not the Bruce Willises and the Arnie's, but I think it's definitely up there.
Charisma's not the word I'm looking for. Enthusiasm.
Oh man, the thing is, he knows his stuff, and these fights are they're not fast editing. You actually see the fights. Do you know what I mean? You actually can see they're doing, and they're so fast, and they're not speeded up. I'm pretty sure they're not speeded up. They are so fast. This woman in it, and her name's her real name is I can't remember. I'll have to look it up. But she is really good as a martial artist.
Was it the Kato-esque?
Yeah, the Kato woman. She's really good, and I really like the fact that that's it.
Violinist.
No, she is a terrific in this. She must be a martial artist. She's too good not to be. She really moves fast. And the thing is, the annoying bloke, at first you think, oh God, this bloke's a bad actor. But by the end of it, it's kind of, this is genius. He's deliberate. He's like the most annoying person you can imagine. And they've somehow woven that, like, Mike has to look after this real twerp. At one point, he force feeds him, Mike force feeds him, like, laxatives to try and get on a chat. It just made me laugh. And you know, there's also a scene that's straight out of a Bruce Willis actioner from the 80s where Mike's tied up and a bloke keeps punching him in his face, and he's like, Is that all you got? Things like that, and there's lots of quips in it that I can't quite remember. At one point, this annoying bloke says to Scott Adkins, and this did make me laugh. He goes, "You look like a melted Ben Affleck," he says, which is pretty funny. Yeah. So yes. So I really enjoyed this. I would suggest you watch it, but I don't know. Poco the Clown, the whole set piece where he's fighting Poco the Clown is really something. Anyway, that's me.
Okay, so my first one, and it's to sort of tie into something that's coming up. Coming out now. I went and rewatched Willow, the classic Ron Howard fantasy movie.
That. Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Did it stand up?
Yeah, it still holds up, and it's weird because I just don't remember like a chunk of the first part of the film. Like the way I remembered it was like it starts with a woman walking through the woods, and then like dogs start showing up, and she gets her kid in like a basket and sends it down the river. No, there's a whole first part where like it goes into like the prophecy of this child will be the undoing of Queen Bavmorda, and like yeah, did not remember that. But otherwise, it's a really good film. Like, it's so funny. I watched it with my friend who's never seen it before, and just Val Kilmer completely kills it as Mad Martigan.
Oh, he does. I mean, I have to say, Warwick Davis is not the best actor, but he's charming, right? So he totally works as Willow.
Yeah, it comes across as more of a determined anger than like bad acting. So,
okay. I think Val Kilmer's terrific in this, and I like the witches. There's a witch battle, isn't there?
There's Bavmorda, who's played by Jean Marsh,
who's a terrific actress you don't see much of. She's a really interesting actress, that lady.
And then there's Finn Rizal, who's Patricia Hayes.
Yeah, Patricia Hayes as the other witch. Yeah, the good witch, right? Yeah.
Yeah. She spends most of the film as an animal. And fortunately, I completely forgot that the brownies were in this.
Oh, yeah, the little ones.
The tiny little guys.
Yeah, the brownies.
Completely forgot they were in this. My friend hated them.
You're juicing me to watch this again. Yeah, I might watch this
It's such a good film.
Because I do want to watch the series.
It's such a good... I don't know how to phrase this other than, like, casual fantasy.
Is there a bit where Willow tries some magic and he creates, like, a weird dragony thing?
Yeah, like a bunch of trolls attack him and he sort of stabs one with this wand he's got. And its skin all rips off. It's like, oh, what's that? And he kicks it into like, a nearby lake. Yeah. And then this giant dragon thing called... It has, like, a goofy name that has, like, a backstory to it. The Aborsisk. Okay. It's Siskel and Ebert.
Okay.
So that like comes out. It's a two-headed dragon because there's two of them. But yeah,
that's right.
It's a really good film. I've really enjoyed it. Highly recommend watching it. It's kind of difficult to spoil because it's like a 40-year-old movie, nearly.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, but I got a feeling it's way less watched than most.
This is...
But it's worth a watch. I remember it being very effective.
I'd say, like, the second least watch of George Lucas's films. It's like...
how would that be in the first?
Oh, okay, third, maybe. I think it's THX. It's like, I know a lot of people have seen American Graffiti. I haven't. Everyone's seen Star Wars. Everyone's seen Indiana Jones. We've done a few other ones that I didn't even realise he was part of. I didn't realise he was anything to do with Labyrinth.
I didn't know that. I mean, he did THX 1138, which is a pretty good film.
Yeah.
Though a dark dystopia.
Yeah, that's a grim film.
Yeah, it's grim.
Yeah. Willow, really fun. Highly recommend to watch it if you don't have it. And it's on Disney Plus, so you can watch it.
Oh, even better. Better. And I think the series is Disney Plus, right?
Yeah, the series is on Disney Plus. I have watched the first episode of that. It's really weird.
Yeah. I mean, I still haven't done Rings of Power.
Yeah, same.
I have got Willow on my list to watch, but I want to watch Rings of Power and probably Andor before I get to Willow.
Okay. Yeah,
so I've got a few others to watch. I'm currently grimly going through the various Star Trek new, Discovery. I'm on the full season of Discovery in a minute, and I want to do season 2 of Picard.
No.
And then I'm going to start.
Shows, I gotta be honest.
Yeah, no, I'll just want to get through. And it is a bit like that, unfortunately. And because I want to finish them before I return to more classic Star Trek and start my first watch of Deep Space Nine.
I know.
So I'm looking forward to
eclectic.
it. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing Deep Space Nine because I really like all the Star Trek I've seen. Though Discovery, is the least Star Trek of the Star Trek I've seen. Picard's okay, and Strange New Worlds is excellent, and Lower Decks is excellent. But
yeah. Oh, what I completely forgot. I may need to swap one of mine out for Lower Decks. My next one's.
Oh, okay, all right, we'll see. Okay, my next one is from the 80s. It's an action film. I don't know if you may have not even heard of this. I may have talked to you about it before. It's called Trancers.
I've heard of this, yeah.
Right, okay. Basically, it's a exploitation kind of rip-off of kind of Blade Runner and Terminator, though it did come out the same year as Terminator, so you can't really call it a rip-off. It's a really cheap and cheerful film, and it's excellent.
Okay.
It's an exploitation film. It's made by a guy called Charles Band, who's like, Roger Corman is a low-rent version of all sorts of other directors.
Yeah.
Well, this guy is a low-rent version of Roger Corman.
Ooh.
Charles Band is his name. Very low budget.
Ooh,
but
yeah, I'm reading through some of these film titles on Wikipedia. Oh my god.
Yeah. He's not. I mean, these films are a bit dodgy, but
Still
Trancers, I would say Trancers is the best of his films. They just got it right. They got the right cast. They got the right script. They got the right tone, and it just really works. Essentially, what they did. Apparently, Charles Band said, used to like old gangster movies with Humphrey Bogart, and I wanted to capture that. Right. Now, Blade Runner, which came out a few years before, had that kind of neo-noir, hard-boiled detective kind of vibe to it, but he was all wistful and weary, right? There is another side to noir detective stuff, which is tough guys, right? Yeah. Tough guys. An example of that is in more recent films is someone like Marv in Sin City, right? Real hard nuts. Mickey Spillane used to do a lot of characters like this. And the guy in this, who's called Jack Death, D-E-T-H, is one of those, right? Essentially, he's in the 23rd century. He lives in a place called Angel City, which is based on the ruins of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And what all the explanation is, I'm hunting down Martin Whistler. He's a man who can basically control people with weak minds and turn them into something called trancers. They kind of become weird zombies, like their faces go yellow and their lips go all like cracked. They look a bit like zombies, right? They're not zombies, but they look like, and they go crazy and try and bite you and attack you and stuff. And essentially, he killed Whistler, or so it appears, or so he thinks, but he's hunting down the last of what are called the trancers, right? And he's getting there, and they basically one of his superiors, or someone that's slightly above him, keeps antagonising him, so he just quits. Mm-hmm. And he goes to die. His hobby is diving in the ruins of old Los Angeles, which is under the sea now, right?
Yeah.
So he's interested in old stuff. Anyway,
it seems to be.
Anyway. All right. The effects are cheap and cheerful, though it still totally works. And the guy who plays it is an actor called Tim Thomerson. He's really good, really proper hard boiled. And essentially, they find out Martin Whistler's gone back to the past in the middle of the 80s, and he's killing basically the ancestors of people that run Angel City now. So they've got like a 3 or 5 person committee that run the whole place, but they start just disappearing from existence, and they realise he's back in the past. And they send Jack Death back to the past, but their technique is not by time travel. Well, it is, I suppose. But by giving him some sort of injector, and then they kind of possess the body of an ancestor in that time, right? So he's got an ancestor called Phil Defton, and he becomes that guy. And when he gets there, he's like an 80s guy. He's got like feathered hair, long feathered hair. This guy gets back and goes, as soon as he sees himself in the mirror, he starts finding hair gel and greasing his hair back like a detective.
Yeah.
And Helen Hunt's in it. You know the actress Helen Hunt? She is.
Yeah.
She's in it, and at one of her first roles, and she loves it. She loves this film. She's happy to talk about it. She's been in several of the sequels. Even when she got really famous, she kept appearing in the sequels because she really liked it. And it's such a fun film. There's just some great lines in it that. It's just the tone is just right. There's a point where a trancer it's set at Christmas, which is one of the reasons I watched it. And Santa is a trancer and starts fighting with him. And to give you an idea of the tone, at one point Santa's fighting Jack Death with like hitting him with a giant candy cane, for example, stuff like that, strangling, trying to bite him. And we see Mrs. Claus, at the children's grotto. Like watching in horror, but suddenly she gets on the CB and goes, "Security, get down here. We got trouble at the North Pole." That's the kind of tone it is. In the end, he shoots Santa, and the kid goes, "Mummy, they shot Santa Claus." And the whole film's like this. And it's really fun. Helen Hunt's a good actress. But this guy, Tim Thomerson, who hasn't been in much, was really good. It's this proper tough nut. At one point, this punk kind of starts antagonising a woman, and he goes, "Hey, pal, I'm dancing," or something like that. And this punk spits in his face, so this Jack Death just punches him and knocks him out with one punch. Which is pretty cool. In the middle of a punk club. All the punks back up.
I may have to watch this.
Yeah, and the punk club, as soon as he goes in the pub, he goes, "What the hell's this? It looks like a room full of trancers," is what he says. When he says things like, classic line, everyone who's seen the film kind of knows it, when he's putting hair gel in, and she goes, "What are you doing?" And he looks at her and he goes, "Dry hairs for squids."
What?
Squids is an insult where he comes from, so dry hairs for squids. Is what he says.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the film. It's only 75 minutes. It's a quick in out, and man, it rocks. I'm very happy to watch it with you again if you come around, back for Christmas. We can watch it one morning or something.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, it's really fun. I've got it on DVD. That's how much I like it. I've had it for years on DVD. Anyway, that's me. Sorry, I talked about it a bit longer than I was expecting to.
No worries. So my next one is actually I've restarted playing Mass Effect.
The first one?
Yeah, the first one.
Whoa!
Because this month on the PlayStation Plus, it's the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which has all three. So
that's PC. Oh, I'll have to download that PC. I haven't been on PS Plus for ages, but if it's on that, I might have to have a go.
Yeah, I'm playing it on my PS5, and it looks really good, especially for
does it?
About 15-year-old game. So
I imagine games that old, we used to think they were really long, but they're like 8 hours.
Oh no, it's Mass Effect, so it's like it's a full RPG sort of experience. This is like a
it just goes on
20-hour story.
Oh, okay, that's decent.
Yeah, so I'm trying to do a 100% run, sort of do everything.
Whoa.
And then I'll move on to the next game. So
fair enough. So
the classic story of Commander Shepard trying to track down the rogue Spectre. Spectre being the sort of, basically imagine a cop that had authority to call in the military and could get away with it.
Yeah,
sort of thing. It's a sort of an acronym for Special Tactics and Reconnaissance. Basically, if there's any sort of threat that's sort of too big for the general army or just police to do, they'll send in a Spectre and shit'll get done. Spectres, for example, have the authority to basically have a planet glassed.
Oh wow! Okay. How's it compared to 3 and 2? It's still
it's a very different. The first game is very different from 2 and 3. It's a lot more of a sort of it's more like your Baldur's Gate. You have a full inventory that you're working with, and you're swapping out full armor sets, that sort of thing. 2 and 3, you had individual customizable pieces for your armor set, and you didn't really swap it out as a whole. And the different bits would give you upgrades, and you'd sort of have you'd work your way up a sort of tier of weapons. So you'd only really swap out your gun for the next one, which was always better. In this, there's more like a general loot system. Think more Borderlands.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, so
Yeah.
so you're just trying to find better and better guns rather
Yes.
than upgrading guns.
Yeah,
I
you
see.
get side grades, so there's some that'll be more accurate but do less damage, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot more wandering around empty planets in this one,
Yeah.
and a vehicle which is not present in the other two,
Okay.
the tank. So
Okay, so you can move
which,
around a little
handled
faster.
so atrociously that they didn't bring it back for the next two games. It's almost comical how weird the physics are on it, and people have made a lot of jokes about them in the past.
Right.
Yeah, but I highly recommend these games. I don't want to say anything about story beyond that.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, you
And also,
had a whole episode.
Our most popular podcast is me ranting about the Mass Effect 3
Mass
ending.
Effect 3 is
For
one
about
of our
4
most popular downloads.
So-
Bizarrely, only topped by something like, I think it's something like the Expendables 3. I have no idea why that one's so popular. I've not a clue. I think it must just have hit
The
somewhere.
only with the Mass Effect rant, that came out like shortly after the game itself released. So it was like, it was the talked about thing.
Yeah.
It was probably algorithmically doing quite well.
Yeah.
Expendables 2, I think it was.
Oh, two. It might have been 2.
Nothing to do with anything
No,
that was
I
going
know.
on.
Weird, right? Weird.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's me done that one.
Okay. My next one is a TV show, Harley Quinn, season 3 dropped.
I need to watch season 3.
Say again?
I need to watch this season 3.
Yeah. It was fun. It wasn't quite as much fun as 1 and 2 because some of the weirder characters weren't so present in it. They were much more occasional characters, but they did bring in another character. I don't know how much to say about this. Basically, Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy's relationship has developed quite a bit, so it's a lot about them too. And weirdly, the first episode features Queen Elizabeth, and I watched it the week just after she died, so it was very odd. It was very odd, but that's just coincidence. There's certain characters that were part of Harley's gang that are barely in it this time round, and I kind of missed them because they were so absolute bananas, those people. But there's all sorts of other stuff going on. There's a whole episode about the Joker being normal again, kind of.
Yeah,
normal.
I've seen clips of the Joker having this weird rivalry with like some Karen.
Yeah. So that's fine, but it's fun. It's still very, very funny. The voice works excellent. I really enjoy it. There's one point where Harley Quinn meets kind of someone who's basically doing a much earlier iteration of Harley Quinn.
Oh,
And
yeah?
she's going, Jesus Christ, tone down that accent and things like that, which
Yeah.
made me laugh. You're like, oh, okay, Mr. J. And she's going, oh my God, there's stuff like that. But really fun show. I think it's only 10 episodes. Very easy watch. So enjoyed it greatly. That's me.
Okay, so my next one is What We Do in the Shadows, Season 3.
Oh, I've got this to watch next. I was going to watch
This
it
is
after Harley Quinn.
very recently dropped on Disney+. It's very good. It's sort of building... I don't remember how... It's sort of building the sort of tension in the group after the reveal that Guillermo is a vampire hunter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's very funny. They bring back in a lot of the aspects that sort of may have got ignored, like how they have a Naja doll that's alive.
The Naja doll, well, it was fairly significant in season 2. There was quite a bit.
It shows up a lot more in season 3.
Okay, I quite like the Naja doll.
We get a bit more like vampire lore going on.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
It's still hilarious. Some of the things they've done in season 1 and 2 are just hilarious. Bringing in all these actors that have been in vampire movies as the head of the Vampire Council. It's amazing.
What episode?
Wesley Snipes' cameo was unbelievable.
But Skype or something.
Yeah, and keeps going right. Oh my God, Wesley, and all that. But and also, what was hilarious was all Guillermo's accidental slaying of vampires left, right, and centre. That was funny too. Yeah. So it's a great show, and I'm looking forward to watching season 3. It's a bit weird that I haven't got around to it yet. Another one I've got queued up when I watch season 3 is Wellington Paranormal, which is not on the same level, but it's still kind of fun, and I like some of it. And that is kind of a bit more uncomfortable silence kind of cringy comedy. I mean, that's also in What We Do in the Shadows, right? But there's a lot more in Wellington Paranormal, which is, a spin-off from the movie. They still haven't done the werewolves one, though. I don't know if they're still going to intend to do it.
Oh, yeah, it's werewolves.
Yeah, because there was going to talk of that being its own thing, too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's 1 and 2 are great, and 3's just as good, right?
Yeah, it's just as good.
Yeah. I just love the whole vibe. They just
you know how what's her name, Kirsten Scholl was as the like sort of envoy to the council. She's in it a fair bit more. Yeah, she's quite good as a vampire. Actually, she works quite well. I do like the Nadja though, because it's just more Nadja. Nadja's the funniest, I think, of all. Yeah, she just it's Nadja and Nandor are the ones that sort of crack me up most. Yeah, Matt. So I just genuinely started doing Nandor. Like, this fucking guy. This fucking guy. I also like Matt Berry's bat. That always makes me laugh. There's whole compilations of Matt Berry saying stuff in a weird way from this. It's like, my good time boy. I like his character because he really doesn't give a rat's ass about... Yeah. If he's not interested in something, he'll just not engage at all, will he? He'll just... Yeah. Okay. Okay. My next one is a game like yours. Yeah. I did have a film put in, but I fancy talking about a game because you talked about a game. Warzone 2 has dropped. Oh, yeah? It's hard. Yeah. It's hard. It's like you die pretty much as soon as anyone sees you. I'm slowly getting to grips with it because it's a massive new map. So it's kind of learning the map, figuring out what you're supposed to do. There's whole areas full of AIs as well, and they're not the little simple AIs that used to be in Warzone 1 and those kinds. These are tough guys. They'll kill you. They'll kill you pretty quickly if you're not careful. And it's really horrible because they're in these things called strongholds. So you think you've cleared them. You run into a room and it's free in there. Things like that. It's like, oh my God. And they've basically made getting the loadouts, which is like your core guns and all the things that help you, much, much more difficult than... I mean, they used to fall out of the sky in Warzone 1, and you just got to get to them. But now, no. A few fall out of the sky, and there's only like 3 or 4 or maybe even 5 on the whole map, and everyone knows where they are. So it's like... Because it's communal now, instead of, it used to be you had your own loadouts and someone else would have to, and occasionally they drop next to each other, okay, but now it's like much, you can imagine how hot those zones are. I gave this a go, like, I think it was shortly after it released, and I could not handle the TTK. It was too fast. It's just like, it feels like the second someone sees you, you're dead. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, luckily, I'm slowly getting a little better. They haven't been counting any stats. They only start counting stats from the 14th of December, which is tomorrow for the time. Okay. So luckily, all the things I've died, none of that's going to be counted as part of the stats, which is a good thing. However, I don't think I'm going to have very good stats anyway. I never had good stats in the first one, and I was way better at the first one than this one. So, it's, but I do enjoy it. I kind of like it. I'm learning bits of the map and I'm treating it as like, let's explore this bit of the map. Oh, and I might get shot rather than, I want to win this game. But I've got a few top 10s by luck more than skill, frankly. But, I've got a few. The most kills I've got in one game is probably like 3, whereas in original Warzone, which obviously I played a lot more, I could get sometimes 10. I think my highest ever was 16. But in this, there's no way that's happening. But yeah, really looks really good. Plays all right. There's still loads of glitches they got to solve. Some of the weapons and perks don't work right, and this, that, and the other. But I'm really enjoying it. I think it's a pretty solid and good-looking game. On a good PC, it looks great. Anyway, that's me. Back to you. Okay, yeah. So my next one is an action movie from the 90s called Double Team. This is a Jean-Claude Van Damme one.
Right, yeah.
So the premise from the start is that Jean-Claude Van Damme is a retired sort of super spy sort of thing.
Okay.
And he's sort of gets brought back into the game to hunt down his old rival. What's his name? Stavros, played by Mickey Rourke.
Oh, weird. That is so weird.
This is a very weird film. Okay, unfortunately, the point that they're like intercepting Stavros turns out to be Stavros meeting his 6-year-old son at a carnival.
Okay, sounds
And
a bit like Face Off.
Yeah, in the shootout, the son dies.
Ooh, okay.
Stavros gets away. Jean-Claude Van Damme's character, Quinn, gets knocked out, and he wakes up on an island in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
And it's got this weird prisoner sort of vibe where it's all these old retired spies, including a few people he knew that he thought had died, and they're all working as like counter-terrorists, just as a whole for hire.
And they all live on this island.
Yeah, and basically, I highly recommend watching it. I'm not making it sound exciting. It's mental.
It sounds good. It sounds good. It sounds good to me.
The other character of this double team is a guy by the name of Yaz, who's played by Dennis Rodman, the basketballer.
Oh, with the weird hair. With the
weird hair and a friendship with Kim Jong-un.
Yes, that's right. I forgot that.
And in the film, he has nothing to do with basketball at all. They keep making basketball jokes.
Okay.
Like he punches a guy and he goes through a hoop and he goes, 2 points, and runs off.
Okay. Yeah. That's kind of standard, I guess, for anyone like that. Okay.
Yeah.
It sounds all right. I think
it's
I'd give this a go.
complete insanity. The last scene involves a shirtless fist fight in the Colosseum in a minefield with a tiger running around.
Amazing. You know what? I have got quite a deficiency in Jean-Claude Van Damme films because I never used to really like him. But I'll tell you what, some of the films I've seen I really liked. I really like Hard Target. I really, really like Time Cop. And he was pretty good in The Expendables as the bad guy, wasn't he? One of the
when he like spin kicked the
was that number 2?
I think it was number 2.
Our most popular.
Most popular.
So, and I've kind of, I need to go back. I've never seen Bloodsport, for example, things like that. And there's another one where he plays like twins. I think one's good and one's evil, which I thought was the name of this, but it isn't.
Oh, Double Team, yeah.
Something like Double Impact or something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, this sounds right. It sounds like they took like the premise of the old TV series The Prisoner, where the ex-spies...
We were watching this, because me and my friends, we were drinking while we were watching this, and one of my friends just kept making the prisoner jokes that no one else understood.
Okay.
Like
be seeing you and things like that.
Yeah, something like that. He kept mentioning, I don't remember his name, but I was like, stop talking about the big white ball, just on a hunch. And he was like, oh, you watched The Prisoner too? I'm like, no, I haven't.
No.
That's the only thing I know from The Prisoner.
Yeah.
So,
I like The Prisoner, but it's a proper mad show.
Yeah.
It is proper mad. But yeah, the premise kind of sounds a bit like The Prisoner.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, I like the whole setup. It's got that 90s. I mean, when you started describing it, it reminded me of Face Off, which is another 90s action.
Yeah, there's a weird bit where he's supposed to he goes to like what's supposed to be some sort of weird, sort of seedy bar, except it's supposed to be like full on fetish thing, except it's just like punk people, and in the corner there's one guy in a bikini in a fish tank with a diving mask on.
Amazing.
He's sort of swimming around in like his 2 foot by 2 foot fish tank.
Wow, how weird! How weird!
It's super bizarre.
90s show. Okay. My last one is a film from the 80s. I think it's the 80s. I'm not entirely sure. And it's weird that you said the name Quinn, because the main character in this film is called Quinn. Now, this is a kind of weird, cheap kaiju, really. But it totally works, but it's really oddly put together. It's called Q the Winged Serpent. also known as Q, made in 1982, and it's made by a guy called Larry Cohen. Now, I described Charles Band as like a low-rent Roger Corman.
Proper Frank Frazetta artwork on the poster.
Oh, it is. Oh, yeah, it's a cool poster. Well, Larry Cohen is also a kind of low-rent Roger Corman hit, but he made some interesting films. He's made... probably his most famous one might be The Stuff, which I don't know if you've heard of that, but that's like...
I'd guess it's The Blob.
Kind of. It's basically this liquid, white liquid, like goo or milkshake or something, is really popular and advertised everywhere. But what happens is, if you drink enough of it, you kind of become possessed or almost like bodily... like Invasion of the Body Snatchers kind of thing. And it's called The Stuff. That's kind of a cool one. He also made It's Alive, which was about a killer baby gets born. And he made a film I really like, but a lot of people don't, which is a sequel to Salem's Lot called Return to Salem's Lot. But Q the Winged Serpent, right, it's a weird film. I'll tell you why. Set in New York, and it's proper New York, early 80s New York. The main actor in it is an actor called Michael Moriarty, playing an actor called a character called Quim. Michael Moriarty, right? And he's like a method actor. He's like in a Martin Scorsese film, right? Yeah. But the rest of it's this goofy kaiju movie. But essentially, he's a low class like thief, dodgy sort, who doesn't, he's too inept or scared to be involved in guns or any of that. But he drives for robberies. He'll drive, right? Yeah. And he's like a thief and fencing and stuff like that. But essentially, he's in a robbery, which kind of, and he tells them, "Look, I'm not going in to rob. I just drive. I don't want." He can't handle a gun or anything. But it kind of goes wrong. But he gets left with the jewels, a bag of jewels. Everyone else gets away, but he gets away. And he decides he's going to stash it. For some bizarre reason, he decides he's going to stash it in the top of the Chrysler building.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So he goes up the Chrysler building and goes up into the roof space where there's nothing going on. And he finds a giant egg. Right? But meanwhile, these weird there's two sets of weird murders going on in New York, which is people, like one of them is a window cleaner high up. His head just goes missing. And so one of the first detectives on it is David Carradine, is really good in this as well. And he's saying, well, they said, we can't find the head. He goes, well, look how far high he was. He goes, if his head came off from some accident, imagine if you dropped a cantaloupe from like 60 stories. You're not going to find a piece of it, are you? It's just going to disintegrate when it hits the ground. And he goes, it's probably that. But then more and more rooftop kind of death happens. In the meantime, there's a whole spate of weird murders going on where people are getting skinned alive. And so he doesn't know what's going on. But it turns out it's some sort of priest from South America who's worshipping the Quetzalcoatl as a god, the winged serpent, right?
Sure, yeah.
And essentially, the winged serpent has taken him to nesting at the top of the Chrysler building. But what it does is, it only comes out when the sun's at the very highest point, so no one can see it because the sun's directly above them. So, you can't look up and see it because the sun's just glaring. And it picks off people from anyone on the rooftops, right? And they kind of know, because things like heads and feet fall out of the sky or blood, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. But this low life has kind of uncovered it by mistake, realizes what's up there. I think a policeman chases. It starts. The reason he goes up there is a policeman chases him up there, and he hides the jewels while he's being chased. But then he sees this weird attack at this bird, and we don't see the bird at all. At this point, we do see it later, but we don't see it at all. We just see shadows, so it's all inferred. So he's cut and he kills the cop, but of course he runs away. That's why he's left the jewels up there. So it's not so much he stashed them there; it's more like he put them away when he was being chased and then ran away in terror. And the police get him, but they got nothing on him. And then what happens is the other criminals see on the news that apparently a bag full of jewels worth 70 grand was lost from the scene. So they go looking for him, and he's kind of, I haven't got anything, but they say, we know you can't take any pain, you know. So in the end, he leaves them up there, but deliberately, so the bird kills them, right? And things like that. So he's got that going for him. And then he tries to blackmail the city to tell them where the nest is for $1 million and amnesty on all his crimes and all this, that, and the other. But he's doing it as a full method. He's like he's also a part-time musician, so he's kind of singing like jazz songs and playing pianos and it shouldn't work, but it totally does. He's totally convincing. I think because he's so convincing as this character. It's kind of like, imagine young Robert De Niro in a kaiju, or James Woods, or Harvey Keitel. Do you know what it just feels like that in seedy old New York, and it kind of just works. And we do see it at the end, and it's a stop motion one. It's a stop motion flying lizard, and they call it the winged serpent, but it's got 2 arms, 2 legs, and wings. It looks very Harryhausen. Very Harryhausen.
Just look up that last bit.
So in the end, there's like a King Kong-y kind of thing, where it's flying around the Chrysler building, where guys hanging out the windows are machine gunning it. So yeah, and it's bonkers.
Only the kaiju movie, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of just about a kaiju movie, about. But essentially, it's a weird, intense drama based on some very old premises. And like I say, it really shouldn't work, but it does. I really quite enjoyed it. I thought it was quite good.
Okay, yeah, I'll maybe give that a watch.
Yeah, interesting film. Michael Moretti has to be. You have to watch him because you think this guy's just nuts. But he's just doing method acting, I think. Apparently the director found out he was also a musician. None of that was written into the original script, and he just put all this musical stuff in it to give him authenticity, and it works. So that's that. That's my last one, anyway.
Okay, so my last one is actually a new video game that's been released recently. It's Warhammer 40,000 Dark Tide. So this is set in the Warhammer 40k universe. Standard sort of stuff. For that, it's still the year 40,000. Everything is terrible. There's a lot of aliens. There's demons. It's all awful. What you play as is one of 4 survivors of a prison ship that's been hired by what's called an Inquisitor. So an Inquisitor is someone, actually looping back to what I was saying earlier about Mass Effect, they have full authority to glass a planet. But instead of, if this is a necessary evil, Inquisitors can just do it.
Oh, wow.
They have the full authority to call on any person in the Imperium to work for them. They can command Space Marines, they can command Imperial Guard, they can command Imperial Knights, which are like 4-story tall mechs. Everyone has to listen to an Inquisitor. And you play as one of 4 schmucks that has been roped into doing the dirty work for this Inquisitor, because a hive city, which can have a population of billions, one city with a population of billions, has been taken over by the forces of Nurgle, which is the demon god of disease.
Oh my goodness.
So there's disease zombies.
Right, okay. So what sort of game is it? Is it a first-person shooter?
It's a horde shooter. So Left 4 Dead,
God.
Left 4 Dead, Payday 2, in Vermintide. The previous developers also made a Warhammer Fantasy version called Vermintide.
Vermintide was a third-person shooter then, wasn't it?
No, that was a first-person one.
First-person shooter. This is a first-person, is it?
Yeah, this is a first-person too. So you can play as your sharpshooter, which is your fairly standard shooting class.
Yeah.
You've got the Zealot, which is a melee class, built more for like basically riding the very edge of your health bar. So as you hit stuff, you heal a little bit, but you do all that extra damage when you're low on health. So you want to be getting hit a lot, so you can hit stuff even harder.
Yeah.
There's the Psyker, someone who taps into the realm of the Warp, which is this weird other dimension that's also hell, and can like pop people's heads with their brain, shoot fire from their hands, that sort of lovely magic stuff.
Yeah.
Or you can be the Ogryn, which I did, which is you are a 10-foot tall humanoid from a planet with incredibly high gravity, so you have evolved to be as bulky as possible with the smallest brain possible, because you don't want it to be effective. Ogryns are good. The smartest Ogryn could count to 4. That's how stupid they are.
That's weird. There's a race in Doctor Who called Ogrons, which ape-like things.
Yeah, it's probably just a similar sort of route.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so this is a very fun game because there's a lot of because you're playing as a prisoner that's basically been saved. All your bosses are just threatening you. So it's like, yeah, you're gonna do this, or we're just gonna blow you up.
Right.
Like,
So is it like
kill?
Is it like kill loads and loads of things, ways and ways, or is it survival? What
towards you? You have objectives. You get you drop into a mission. You'll be told you need to go to the like hack this data center so we can open up the vents, air out some of that Nurgle nastiness, and then we'll get you out of there.
Okay, so it's missions.
Mission based. Plague zombies called poxwalkers will try and attack you, follow along with cultists, and then various special versions. So there's like plague hounds, which pin you down. There's mutants, which can knock all of your team apart. By the way, it's also good to be sort of close together because you have something called coherency, which means you're more resistant to damage if you stay close together. And then there's the horrors of the demon host, which is if you hear crying in this game, don't interact with it. Just don't.
Just leave it be.
Just leave it be. Don't shoot it. Don't hit it. Don't look at it. It's just not.
That's a bit Silent Hill.
Yeah, because you'll just walk up. There's someone tied up on the ground, and they're crying. It's like, "You okay, buddy?" And it'll pop into a demon and proceed to kill your entire team. And that's okay, cool.
All right. Okay, that sounds pretty cool.
Because this is a very fun game.
Was it PC?
PC, PS, all the sort of console rosters, really.
Oh, okay.
It's on PC. I even bought it, pre-ordered it so that I could play the beta. Got a funky little short bus helmet for my Ogryn.
Nice. Okay, that sounds pretty cool. Right, so that kind of winds up our comfy chair for November. So next time we'll be doing one for December. So I suspect there might be some Christmassy stuff. Did I mention Trancers was a bit Christmassy? I did, didn't I? Yeah. So yeah. Okay, so let's wind it up there. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everyone. I hope everyone has a good time. And we'll be recording again before Christmas, but our next comfy chair will be in January. So okay, bye from me.
Bye.